If there's something strange in the neighborhood, we call on the Ghostbusters, but what do we do if there's something strange in the neighborhoods? Welcome to Cinema, where we focus on the film. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Strangers movies and how you would rank them from your least favorite to your favorite. If you've seen them all, or just give your general thoughts on what you have seen in general. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're ready to join in this film culture community where we talk about the love of cinema as a whole. But going into it, and last place, we have The Strangers Prey at Night, one that doesn't really capture the concept effectively to the nature of what you're getting from these horror icons, if you can even call these, and even from the general premise of these films alone, you're going based on a true story or true stories in general that don't have specific details to go off because of the mysterious hunt of people with no motives of attacking others in different places. And just the horror factor is weak within this one. The dialogue is just very strange, and the characters as well. You can build some unlikable ones that you get in here that just don't establish all the right grounds to making characters that you can really build up their future, build up everything that you want about them. There are certain aspects of the film that are either too rushed with what they do with the kills, or just don't do enough with the characters and revealing the villains too easily and too early on, to where it's not really a good build-up of a surprise that really we get within the first film that just establishes the grounds of the franchise as a whole. And this one, while it does pay respects to trying its own thing, to building all these characters and doing everything throughout, it just does not pay off, and it's quite a dull time to be had at the end of the day. But coming in at number 2, we have The Strangers Chapter 1, one that's decently directed, has its good cinematography at its certain times, but it doesn't really have the great payoff where it's trying anything original at all, and what you're getting is sort of repetitious of what we get in the very original one, and it still doesn't quite capture the full picture of what it means to have this horror of the unsuspecting strangers that are coming on. It has a prologue that has nothing to do really with anything going on, and so it really builds up nothing to be had with the build-up of these horror villains once again. And so the strangers, while they have the same mysterious motive that is absent from their characters that makes sense to their roles for this respective story, it doesn't establish or pay respects to the idea that it has to build its time for the unsuspecting people that are going to be attacked. And while it does spend a bit more time on what we're getting from the human characters of the couple we're trying to follow along with the story, ultimately it just does not pay off in building up some care and love for everything we're getting from them. And that leaves at number 1, we got The Strangers from 2008, one that I personally enjoy effectively. It doesn't go all in with anything crude or big in its own nature, because it also doesn't know all the exact details of what could have happened. But for being the first one, it pays all the respects for what it's doing, and its prologue and of sorts is highly effective with just having the phone call that alludes to what's going on in the future, that builds up the horror factor from the get-go, just what you're getting with them. And while it does drop in your patience at certain points of the film, it does use that to its own advantage at certain times, to which you're not suspecting when you're gonna get attacked at a certain time, and even as us, the audience, know what is generally what going to happen within the film. It just builds up to that suspense, because these people, you can get into the shoes of their lives, and once they get revealed and the strangers are appearing before them, the weird aspect of someone showing up at their door and asking for camera, and then showing up later and getting attacked it just builds up the suspense that much more effectively to the progression and its timing, how it establishes everything from the very thing that really makes it established well as nothing that needs to be a franchise, because it is already getting the message right out of the gate of sometimes there's just so many attacks across the US and maybe in other countries as well, where people are getting attacked with no motive from these guys that are just strangers to what is everything going throughout. That builds up the horror suspense effectively within this very original film. And so that's how I would rank the Strangers movies from my least favorite to my favorite. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen all three Strangers movies? How would you rank them from your least favorite to your favorite, so you can join in this film culture community? Make sure to like this video, and if you enjoy it, subscribe and are ready to join in this film culture community where we talk about the love of cinema as a whole. But be sure to do yourself a favor and go watch a movie.